All right, old school NBA fans, self-researched NBA facts. I got another video for you. This one here is another narrative that I've heard quite a bit. These clowns will do anything to prop up LeBron James and to push Michael Jordan down. And I'm just giving the facts. I'm not giving narratives. I'm not giving wild opinions. Just try to explain stuff away. You know what I mean? How was Jordan 6-0 in the finals? Competition was weak. He had a super team. Okay, it's that simple, huh? Okay. I mean, it's a joke. No one ever said anything until these modern age media heads came on there and they thought, LeBron, that's the guy in our generation to dethrone Jordan. It's like, no, Kobe actually was the better player in your generation, and so was Duncan. But this video here specifically is about the stupid notion, the stupid narrative out there about certain teams were old, though the Bulls beat them because they were old. Oh, okay, that's how it is, huh? So we'll start here with the 86 Celtics, okay? The best home team in NBA history. 40-1 regular season, 49-1, including the playoffs. Unbeatable at home. They lost one game against Portland, I think, in like the 8th or 9th home game, and never lost another home game. That's who the Bulls were dealing with. Of their top 6 players, and remember, this is a 67-15 team. I mean, they were historically great. Some people say to this day it was the best team ever. Larry Bird was 29. I'm just talking about when Michael Jordan played him. Kevin McHale was 28. Probably you'd say they're in their prime, right? Okay. Robert Parrish was 32. Dennis Johnson was 31. Danny Ainge was 26. And Bill Walton was 33. So you got 3 of the 6 top players were 31 or older. Okay. Another one in question that I've heard a lot about is the 91 Pistons, how ancient they were. Isaiah Thomas was 30 years old in 1991 Eastern Conference Finals. Bill Laimbeer was 34. Joe Dumars was 28. John Sally was 26. James Edwards, who was the other starter, I guess, was 35. Dennis Rodman was 30. And Mark Aguirre was 31. I don't know if any of those are really over the hill. You could say Laimbeer and Edwards at 34 and 35. Absolutely. Those guys were getting older. But the rest of these players here, they're in their primes. Dennis Rodman in 1991 won Defensive Player of the Year. Joe Dumars went on to make 4 or 5 more All-Stars after 91. In 1992, the season after, Isaiah, Joe Dumars, Dennis Rodman, all 3 made the All-Star game. So these old guys somehow made the All-Star game. So again, it doesn't hold any water when these guys say this stuff. It just doesn't make any sense trying to explain away what happened. Yeah, they lost less. They lost 9 less games than they did from the year before. Part of that, though, was 2 major things that never get brought up. Isaiah Thomas was injured a good chunk of the season. And the other thing was they introduced flagrant fouls. And that kind of neutered Detroit's, defense a little bit. Now, so another narrative these idiots throw out, like Gilbert Arenas, I've heard him say, it's just a hard foul. It's a foul. It's a deterrent. Are you sure you want to go in the lane and get knocked on your ass and risk injury? Risk twisting an ankle, a knee, landing on your wrist, hurting your back. You sure you want to do that? That was what it was all about. Per usual, these young idiots, or not even the young, I shouldn't say that. I should say these idiots who defend the modern NBA and think the 80s and 90s were junk somehow because of the athleticism and all whatever. But, again, they leave out key factors and all this stuff. Another one, the 91 Lakers. Somehow Magic was old. Never mind that he finished second in MVP that year. And he got a team, across the finish line that was, pretty good. But maybe not what they once were, but let's look at the ages of these guys. James Worthy, 29. He was third team All-NBA. Magic Johnson was 31, second MVP. And also, people don't know this, Magic Johnson won the All-Star MVP in 92, was the starting point guard in the Dream Team the next year. He also played, I think it was like maybe 40 or 50 games and the playoffs in 1996. And he averaged like 15 points a game and like 25 minutes a game or something like that. No way was Magic old or washed up. He was still in his prime, coming towards the end of it, but easily still in his prime. And I will argue that with anybody. Sam Perkins was 29, Byron Scott 29, Vlade Divac a rookie at 22, AC Green at 27, who was an all-star starter the year before and played like another 12, I think 10 or 12 seasons, playing like 82 games a year. No way was this team old. They were all prime. Okay, now let's get into some of the, one other team first. The 98 Utah Jazz. They mollywopped everybody in the West. Barkley, Drexler, Olajuwon's Rockets. Duncan and Robinson Spurs. Shaq, Kobe Lakers. They mollywopped all of them. Karl Malone was 34. Jeff Hornacek was 35. And John Stockton was 36. Their three best players, 34 and older. What? Again, this age stuff, doesn't matter. Like they're saying, yeah, if a guy's like 38 or something, but players can still play at a pretty high level over the age of 31 or 32. It's a narrative, a ridiculous one, that holds no weight at all. Now, let's look at some of the teams that LeBron James played and lost to. 2011 Mavericks, Jason Kidd, 38. This is the top 8 players on that 2011 Mavericks. Listen to these ages. Tell me how they hold up against anybody I mentioned. Jason Kidd, 38. Dirk Nowitzki, 34. Sean Marion, 33. Jason Terry, 33. Tyson Chandler, 28. J.J. Barea, 27. Deshaun Stevenson, 30. Brian Cardinal, 34. Again, pretty old team. The second oldest team ever to win an NBA championship against the 2011 Miami Heat, ironically. 2014 Spurs. Tony Parker, 32. Boris Diaw, 32. Tim Duncan, 38. Manu Ginobili was 36, almost 37. And Kawhi Leonard, 23. That was the 5 guys who had the most minutes played. So other than Kawhi Leonard, these guys are 32 and older. And Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili would never play another All-Star game. That was it for them. Never. But these other guys, like on Detroit and the Lakers, they were still making All-NBA teams and All-Star teams. And hell, Karl Malone won the MVP in 99, the year after the Bulls played him in 98. So let's look at the another team that actually LeBron James and the Lakers beat last year, the 2023 Warriors. Here's why this is significant. The 5 starters, Steph Curry was 35, Draymond Green was 33, Klay Thompson 33, Andrew Wiggins was 28, and James Looney was 27. The average age of their 5 starters was 31.2. The 91 Detroit Pistons, their 5 starters, the average age was 31.4. The same. So again, you're going to call this team old, and you got to call that team old. It's just a ridiculous, stupid, so easy to disprove narrative. Now, so if what they're saying is when players hit 31, 32, they're old, then it was shameful they lost to the 2011 Mavericks and 2014 Spurs. That's shameful. And what the 98 Bulls did was insane, remarkable. The oldest team to ever win a championship. Their top 7 players were 29 or older. Luke Longley, 29. Tony Kukoc, 29. Ron Harper, 34. Dennis Rodman, 37. Steve Kerr, 32. Scottie Pippen, 32. Michael Jordan, 35. And yeah, the team was older, but still the best team in the league. Or them in Utah, take your pick. They were the best 2 teams in the league. I mean, again, it just doesn't hold any weight what these people say. They're just so ridiculous with their takes. Anything to push down Michael Jordan. And I implore anybody who's listened to these videos, please Do your homework. Fact check these idiots. Don't take anything they have to say at face value, because a lot of it is exaggerated, flat out lied upon. It might be factually true, but it just doesn't carry the weight that they say, and they love to omit things and not tell the full story. The whole purpose I even did this channel was for those reasons right there. The stupid media and their lying bullshit. I'm sick of it. You know, it's just, and I understand, well, they get paid to do that. The hot takes, fine. But there's no pushback from the other side usually. Now, if it's Skip Bayless or Chris Broussard, oh, they get all kinds of pushback. But the lack of pushback is really an issue. And the other one is, these people will come on here, leave comments of the same parroted talking points that those guys said. Like, don't you have any original thoughts? Do you research any of this yourself? Look into it yourself? I mean, if I would have took everybody's word for it, you think Bill Russell was some overrated scrub. Till I actually looked into it, and I was like, my God, man, this guy was unbelievable. He stepped up his game when it mattered the most. You know, and Bill Russell's number 2 on my all-time list now because I did my homework on it. You know, don't take what anybody says at face value, including me. You know, fact check everything. See who's full of crap and who's giving you the true story. So anyway, that's going to be it for now. I'll probably have a video later on, so that's it.